Hello everybody, this is your main man Keith here from Keith Plays PS4 927. Happy Friday evening to all my awesome viewers on this awesome channel. We are in episode 4 of our NBA 2K21 Classic Teams. And in this matchup, the 1998-99 New York Knicks will be traveling out west to Utah State Capitol, host the 2002 Winter Olympic Games in Salt Lake City, Utah, while they'll be battling off against the 97-98 Utah Jazz, one of my favorite classic teams to play as, mainly due to the fact that John Stockton and Karl Malone were like the best duo in the 90s and even in NBA history. Speaking of Stockton, today is his birthday, and that's why I picked to do an episode of the 97-98 Utah Jazz. So, moving on, we're going on to the starting five for the Knicks. So, Charlie Ward, Allen Houston, Latrell Sprewell, Larry Johnson, and Patrick Ewing. For the 97-98 Utah Jazz, we got John Stockton, Jeff Hornacek, Byron Russell, Karl Malone, and Greg Foster. So, without further ado, we'll see you at tip-off. Alright, now it is tip-off time here in Salt Lake City, Utah, and the New York Knicks do claim the first possession of the basketball, and there is a foul on John Stockton, and the Knicks still have possession of the basketball, so now they're going to pass it to Latrell Sprewell, and Sprewell, he's going to go up for 2, and he makes it for 2 points. So I'm going to pass this to Hornacek and then to John Stockton. And the question is, will Stockton make the 3-point? Yes, he will. It's now 3-2 here in Salt Lake City, Utah. So Latrell Sprewell loses the ball. John Stockton picks it back up. He's going to do a decent layup there in the paint. So this will be the first 2 points of the paint for the Utah Jazz this game. So Charlie Ward loses the basketball, and then he picks it back up by Allen Houston. There is a foul on Jeff Hornacek. And Johnson, he's going to pass it to Allen Houston. He passes it to Larry Johnson, and then Patrick Ewing had it. And then now we got the mailman, Karl Malone. And he's going to shoot this in from mid-range, and it's going to be a 7-2 lead here for the Utah Jazz. So now Charlie Ward loses the basketball, and John Stockton has possession of it. And it looks like he's going to get that in for 2 points for the Jazz. So Ward loses the ball. Stockton picks it back up. And Stockton, he's going to do a decent layup there in the paint. So it's now 11-2. So Stockton has scored 9 points in this game. More points than the Knicks, so the Knicks do take a timeout. Alright, now Charlie Ward has possession of the basketball, and apparently he's going to pass it to Latrell Sprewell and back to Charlie Ward, and he knocks down a big 3, and it's now 11-5 here in Salt Lake City. So now Jeff Hornacek makes it in for 2. It's now 13-5. The Jazz are leading by 8. So they're going to pass it to Allen Houston and then to Charlie Ward. And then John Stockton makes a decent steal. And Stockton, apparently, he's going to go up. It gets blocked. So Antoine Carr makes that dunk for the Jazz. So Latrell Sprewell has possession. He's dribbling. And Ewing, he's going to dunk this in. Malone actually attempts the dunk, but it doesn't work. So, attempts the block, excuse me. But he already dunked it in time. So, Malone makes a 3-pointer count for the Jazz. Now, there's only 35 seconds to go. And Latrell Sprewell has possession of the basketball. And he loses the ball. And Malone steals it, and he's going to shoot this in for 3. That will count for the Jazz, as it's now 21-7. So we're leading a third of the way. And Byron Russell makes the foul for the Utah Jazz. So the Knicks still have possession of the basketball. So Williams, he's going to pass it to Latrell Sprewell. Antoine Carr, by the way, makes that decent steal, and he's going to go up and make 2 points, but he does get fouled. So now he's going to shoot this in from the free throw line. And it's now going to be 24-7 here at the stadium, which is now the Vivint Smart Home Arena in Salt Lake City. So he's going to pass it to Charlie Ward. And then Dudley does not make it in, though. But this ends the first quarter. The Jazz are leading this by 17 points. We'll see you guys in the second quarter. All right, now it's 24-7 here in Salt Lake City. And now Shandon Anderson, he's going to shoot this in for 3 for the Jazz. And it's now going to be 27-7. A 20-point lead here for Utah. So they actually went 60 and 22, I think. Or might have been and they blocked this, so Adam Keefe has the ball. I'm going to pass this to Greg Ostertag and then to Karl Malone. Will Malone make this in for 3? Yes, he will. So it's now 30-7. So Malone has been shooting a lot of threes in this game. So that's really good to see here. And Chris Dudley made a 2-point. Those 2 points count. So we're 12 for 14 at field goals, which is pretty good, actually, I'd have to say. 86%. I give that a B. Give it a B+. So Sprewell loses the ball. Karl Malone gets a foul. So basically, this means Sprewell has possession of the basketball, and he's going to pass it to Charlie Ward. So he loses the basketball, and I'm going to pass this to Elsie there. So now Charlie Ward has possession of the basketball, and Shandon Anderson gets a foul there. It's a personal foul, so the Knicks go to the free throw line, and Charlie Ward gets 2 attempts. His first one actually does count, by the way. And the question is, will he make his second one count here for the New York Knicks? No, he will not. It will not be made. So I'm going to pass this to Greg Ostertag. And then I'm going to pass it to Shandon Anderson. We'll play the hot potato game here. And Shandon Anderson makes a 3-pointer. Now it's 37-10 here in Salt Lake City, Utah. So Charlie Ward has possession of the basketball. And there is a foul. All right, now it's 12-37. So Stockton, he's going to go up. And he actually makes a 2-point, makes 2 points there. So now Charlie Ward has possession of the basketball. And apparently Ward loses the basketball. Stockton whatsoever, he's going to shoot this in for way deep 3. He actually misses it that time, but he will get a lot done. So, out of bounds, by the way, it was blocked, but the ball went out of bounds, so the Knicks do gain possession of the basketball. So, Wingate passes it to Allen Houston and then to Charlie Ward. And Jeff Hornacek whatsoever makes the steal. And Hornacek does a layup, but he gets fouled. He makes 2 points in the paint, though, which is good. But the question is, will he make that extra point count? The answer, I'm afraid, is a no. Allen Houston, by the way, makes 2 points there. Now it's 41-14, so I'm going to pass this to Byron Russell. And then back to Stockton. Well, I was going to use Hornacek, but he's going to make that in, and that will count. So now it's going to be 43-14 here in Salt Lake. Stockton makes the steal. Stockton claims 2 points in the paint there. And we will see you guys in the second half. All right, now it's 48-14 here in Salt Lake. I'm going to pass the ball to Byron Russell, and he's going to shoot this in from mid-range, by the way. And he makes it in for 2 points and scores Utah's 50th point in the episode. So now Latrell Sprewell loses the basketball. I'm going to pass this to Malone, and he makes 2 points in the paint with that spectacular dunk there. and he just makes the assist whatsoever. And now Malone, he has the basketball, and he's going to shoot that in for 2 points. And it's now 54-14. Malone has 17 points in all, 7 for 7 in the field goal, which is really, really great. And now Malone, he's going to go up, and he does get blocked, though, but Greg Foster steps in and dunks for Karl Malone. Charlie Ward loses the basketball. I'm going to pass this to John Stockton, and he makes a decent layup there, so it's now going to be 58-14 here in Salt Lake City, Utah. They lose the basketball. Allen Houston recovers it. And now Charlie Ward is stepping in, making 3 points. So now this is going to be 58-17. So the Utah Jazz really had made 5 more three-pointers than the Knicks. And we're leading by 44 points now since Stockton made a 3. Sprewell loses the ball. Stockton makes it in for 3, and it's now going to be 64-17 here in Utah. So now Charlie Ward has possession of the basketball. It gets stolen by Stockton, and Stockton's going to go up in the paint and make a layup. And now it's going to be 66-17. And now Charlie Ward is dribbling the ball. And now Ward, he gets blocked, but Larry Johnson was close from making 2 points there. But Malone whatsoever, he's going to do a 3-pointer, but Greg Foster steps in, who earlier made that dunk from while Karl Malone was attempting the points in the paint. Didn't work that time. So I'm going to pass this to my main man, John Stockton, and he does get that in for 2. So they're going to pass this to Charlie Ward, and now Patrick Ewing makes it in. All he had to do was jump for it, and made that 2 points count. So now I'm going to pass this to Malone, and now Karl Malone, he's going to shoot this in for 3, and this will count for the Jazz. So it's now 72-19, so Charlie Ward here has possession of the basketball, and it's a foul. John Stockton made it, by the way. Larry Johnson passes it to Charlie Ward, and Charlie Ward, he's going to keep dribbling, and Larry Johnson, he's going to make that in. Those 2 points count. So I'm going to pass this to Karl Malone, the mailman. He's going to shoot this in for 2, and we'll see you guys at the fourth quarter. All right, now the New York Knicks have possession of the basketball for the fourth quarter, and there is a foul there on Shandon Anderson. It is a personal foul. They don't really say specifically why this penalty was a reach-in, but I will just consider it a reach-in slash personal foul. So now Brown has possession of the basketball. He passes it to Wingate, and then to Williams. He loses it, and then Greg Ostertag, he's going to pass this to Shandon Anderson, and Anderson actually makes it in for 3. So now this is going to be a 79-21 lead here for the Utah Jazz. So Utah's really leading by 50 points. So now Shandon Anderson makes a spectacular dunk, and he gets the 81st point of the game for the Utah Jazz. So Utah has been on fire all game long, really. And now Shandon Anderson makes that in for another 2 points. So Anderson, 15 points in this quarter. He had 7. So he had 8 in the previous one, in the previous 3 quarters. So really, Williams, he's going to dribble the ball. I'm thinking he might shoot it on this play. He passes it to Brown. And then Chris Dudley gets blocked there that time. So now I'm going to pass this to Morris, and he makes that in. So it's now 85-21 here in Salt Lake City, Utah. So now Knicks have possession of the basketball. Jazz make the steal. Shandon Anderson, he's going to go up, make a decent layup there, but there is a shooting foul on the Knicks, so he gets an opportunity to make it from the free-throw line. So Shandon Anderson makes it in, and we're going to take a small break. John Stockton is your player of the game, New Balance player of the game. Today is his birthday, so that's why he's been doing so well, mainly with assists, as in a matter of fact. So now he passes it to Stockton. I'm going to pass it to my other favorite player on this 97-98 Jazz team, Karl Malone, and he shoots it in. It's now 95-23, so the Jazz are leading by 72. So this great duo really proved themselves that they were going to win this game, and they are going to take the W. So I'm going to pass it to Stockton and then to Malone. And Malone, he's going to shoot this in for three. There's only nearly 30 seconds left before the game is over. So, question is, will we have at least 100 points by the end of the game? We only need 2 points to make triple digits happen. From the last episode with the Chicago Bulls and Cleveland Cavaliers, Michael Jordan and the Bulls scored 115 points total. I'll have that video and the link in the description if you guys want to check it out. And now Marcus Camby, he passes it to Smith and then passes it to Brown and then Camby. There is a foul. There's only 2.6 seconds to go. But the Jazz are going to win this game whatsoever. And the Knicks actually make the free throw. So the Knicks need another one. They're going to pass it to Stockton. And Stockton, he makes the buzzer beater, and it makes it 100. All I want to say is thanks for watching, everybody. I hope you guys really enjoyed this video, and happy birthday to one of the greatest NBA players, John Stockton. We win this game 127. All I want to say is thanks for watching, everybody. I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. Please stay tuned for more content, and we'll see you at statistics. All right, John Stockton had 30 points, 1 rebound, 6 assists. That's the most from any team, by the way. Deserves player of the game, 8 steals. So Karl Malone did have 1 dunk, 27 points, 1 assist, and 4 steals on the day. So that's really interesting to see. Shandon Anderson had 18 points, 3 steals on the day, and a dunk. Antoine Carr had a dunk as well, 9 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 assist, and 2 steals. Charlie Ward had 9 points, 1 assist, 1 rebound, 1 block. Ewing also had a block as well with 2 rebounds and 4 points. Allen Houston just had 2 points himself. Latrell Sprewell had 2 points and 3 assists. So that wraps it up, everybody. I hope you guys really enjoyed this content, and we'll show you the next episode. So this will be the next episode, my friends. The 03-04 Minnesota Timberwolves traveling to Toronto, Ontario, Canada, battling off against the 99-00 Toronto Raptors. So that wraps it up, everybody, and we'll see you guys soon. Have a great Friday, everyone.